give everybody a chance to get in, and I'll get things set up. So for this bag that we're starting on, bag number 5, we're actually going to be putting on the sails of the ship, so it should be interesting. Put those off to the side for now, so we'll be ready when the time comes. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So last we were building what seemed like a Long John Silver's. It almost looked like a seafood restaurant, so we're just going to continue. Okay, we have our little pieces right here. Get another little piece pile going. Thought about putting some, let's see, maybe do a light effect, maybe. Green, a little much, maybe. All right, let's go ahead and continue with building Long John Silver's. Now, looks like we have a minifigure to build in this bag. And once again, I have to consult my list of minifig names from the front of the book. We've got Jack Dark Shark Doubloons. That's who we're going to be building first. Good old Jack Dark Shark. Once again, his mother, I think, was kind of in a crisis when she named him. And before he knew it, he was, his last name was Doubloons. Just a sad situation. Jack also has the distinguishing feature of carrying a purse. Bless his heart, he's gonna need that purse for all of the seafaring equipment he has to keep at hand. And I actually think this is supposed to be like a kid, like kind of like an homage to Treasure Island, I guess. Okay, because he has the short legs, so he's either a kid or a hobbit that's on a sea quest. So you choose. No one really knows for sure. Right, and I do think he's supposed to have like a little do-rag or bandana or whatever you want to say. There we go. This is looking good. And it looks like he also has a telescope. So they use their little piece here, and we put the little transparent tip on the end, and we're good to go. Yep. Now he is ready to look out his telescope. However, with a minifig, this is about as much of an angle as you're going to get. Maybe you can look from the side and try to like just look that way, because it's being blocked any further. Go to the side of the head like that, so it almost looks like he has a huge flashlight, maybe. All right, put Jack over here, Jack Dark Shark. And let's continue. Now it appears that we're doing some like little prison cells for the interior of the ship right now. At least I think it'll be on the interior of the ship. It's always hard to say. You know, with the way things are packaged these days, usually things seem so complex, but some of the ways that these Lego pieces have been put in this box are just hilariously low tech, and I'll show you some of those a little bit later. All right, we have our little support beams right there. Looks like we have the sides of the prison cell. Well, dropping pieces left and right. Guess I should angle the camera down just a hair so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, looking good. We have to build up the walls on each side of the cell. Start with this one. Okay. Put this on top, and we've got one wall. Put that over here. All right. And time for the next. I feel like with my thumbnail, I should perhaps be using a pirate voice or something. That's not something I don't think anyone should have to tolerate for 2 hours of building. Hear somebody have to do that. All right, got that. Okay, that's the other side of the wall. And now it looks like it's time for the cell door. You know, there's something I think that's intrinsic about kids and liking Lego sets that have like little prison cells in them, in play sets for that matter, because when I was little, it seemed like that every play set, like all the big ones, had a jail cell in them. And that just seemed like a big deal. Like that was a big feature. I don't know why. I guess it's to, I don't know, it's like a place for you to put the bad guys, I suppose. I think it also kind of goes into the sort of role-playing stuff that kids like to do, you know, kind of reinforces right and wrong. A timeout place, I guess, to put the bad minifigs in this particular case. There we go. Have a lovely prison cell right there. Barney Fife would be proud. And we're about to build somebody who's been in there a little too long. So this is when Lego gets dark. Turned out this guy was accused of a crime he didn't commit. He did not get appropriate legal representation. And the next thing you know, it didn't go well. So, you know, every now and then, justice does not prevail. Let's get his arm. Let's at least give him the dignity of giving him an anatomically correct skeleton so that I don't put the pieces in the wrong place. Poor guy. Tell me in the chat what his name should be. We need a name for this poor fella. He can't just be poor fella, unfortunate guy. He needs an appropriate name. Maybe one even befitting his misdeeds, whatever. And what did he do to get in jail? That's the other thing that I want to know. What did he do? What is his crime? I'm sorry. Oh, it's unfortunate. It's sad. You know, some Lego skeletons are all like floppy and like the limbs are just barely hanging on. But this guy, it's actually like a regular minifig. Like everything's solid. So that's kind of neat. Like you could stand him up if you needed to, I guess. And sure enough, he is standing up. So we're going to put him right here. We still need a name for this poor fella. Till then, he's going to be poor fella. There you go, poor fella. Look at that. All right. Looks like we're building another door for the other side. Okay. There it is. And hilariously, I put the wrong door on this one. Turns out there's a different door that doesn't have this little lock piece, and that's the one that should have gone here. So I'm just gonna plug it in. This one isn't supposed to be removed, I don't think. I think that's a permanent cell wall there. Okay. And this one's the one I need. Okay, and then we're going to put a lock on that door. An imaginary non-functioning lock. There we go. Perfect. All right. Since no one has named him yet, I believe I'm going to name him Hector. Hector here had a horrible run-in with the law, and I think I know why he went to jail. We're going to say he stole a loaf of bread, and we're going to say that he stole a half-eaten hot dog. That's what it was. And he deserves this time in prison for what he did. Okay. Got that on there. And we've got the little decorations that go on the top of his prison cell. Okay. Looks like some little ridges up here. These look like some panels that go on the top of it. I'm liking how the cell is coming together. This is a lot of fun. Especially with these weird panels on the top. It's like kind of a faux roof, I guess, that we're going to end up making here. Once again, I love how asymmetrical all the decorations and kind of little details are. Like the shingles are all different, or the wood planks, whatever you want to say this is on here. I'm also loving how we apply this overgrowth to it, which is fantastic. Very nice, very nice. There we go. Starting to grow some vines, looks like, out of one of these leaves. These vine pieces, it's amazing how much mileage Lego has gotten out of these vines over the years. They're in so many sets, it's crazy. Okay. Yeah, I believe that part is done. And it looks like this goes on the top of our Long John Silvers here. This is the place where they put employees that are late. They go right there. It's very sad. They're never spoken of again once they... I think someone was asking where the boo box was from Hook. Indeed, we're going to say that that is the boo box. Not the boo box. Right. Okay. Now we're starting to look like something a little more than a Long John Silver's here, maybe. All right. There's so many barrels in this set. It's crazy. We have another barrel, as it were. Here we go. Barrel number 1000. We have a storage box, looks like, right there. I think it needs to go one more down. There we go. Perfect. It looks like we need 3 bottles now. We're going to say that these are L81 bottles right here. It's exactly what they've been drinking. We know that Lego pirates don't even know what alcohol is. They have never heard of such a thing. They're good, decent people. God-fearing pirates. Here we go. Lego pirates are Disneyed up. They just love to just sail around and have a good time. They never dream of stealing anything. Yeah. If they could never dream of sailing anything, they think they'd lose their pirate card. All right, looks like we're going to be doing some sails. All right, here's the mast, I believe, which is one of the big pre-made pieces. And then we're going to be adding some pieces to it, so let's get right to it. Looks like we're building little supports to go on the mast. And these are little tiny black pieces that are on a black coffee table, so good luck to my eyes, I guess. Could be worse. All right. Get those on. A little topper here. Okay. There's one side of it. Now for the other. Yep. Get a grip. Right. and these two kind of pin into each other. There we go. So that's the kind of bottom base of the mast. Okay, and then this goes through, I think. Oh my, this is going to be absolutely huge because it's longer than the coffee table I'm working on right now, so it should be interesting. Gives you kind of a preview of how big the ship is going to be once you get it done. If the mast is already going to be that huge. All right, we just kind of have to slide these on one at a time. So let's see, here's one. I believe there's 7 of these. There's 2. 3. 4. There's 5. There's our 6th. And indeed, there is our 7th. Here we go. We have some of the smaller pieces. I think we just attach these two, and then we thread it through, and that acts as a base for the ones we already have on. Okay. Then we create what looks like a little platform of some sort, and we're going to thread that through to the bottom. Here it is. It's either a platform or a black toilet. No one can be 100% at this point in time. All right. And the orientation of this stuff does matter. So that's why I'm having to go a little slow and double check the directions and make sure that I'm doing it correctly. All right. Yeah, looks right. Oh my. Okay, now we're going to be putting 12 of these things. We're going to be threading them through, so let's see. I almost wonder if it would be easier not to like attach a big bunch of these and then thread them on. So I'm going to try 3 at a time and just see how that works. If that doesn't work well, I'll go back to 1 at a time. But, you know, this might be the quicker, simpler way here. It does make it a little more difficult once you put more than one. Yeah, that's a little bit harder, but it ended up going okay. Let's do 2 at a time. How about that? I think that's the sweet spot there. Just 2. All right, let's try it like that. Yeah, I think 2 is where it's at. So that's 5, and this will make 7, and just need 5 more. Okay, put on another 2 here. There we go, and the other 3. There we go. Those get harder to kind of press together as time goes on. All right, good. pirates safely out of the way here. Okay. And we have what looks like a crow's nest or a platform to it. Maybe it's just the platform, yeah, that connects it all, I suppose. I don't think the orientation matters too much there. Then looks like we need 5 pieces, 2 threads through the bottom, just like we have been doing. I've got 4. The 5th one I might have laid somewhere strange. Okay, so there's 3. I've got my 4th. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put the 4 on the bottom here. And then we'll have to locate the 5th. Here it is. It rolled behind me. The Lego blind spot. All right. Well, okay. That's huge. So we'll continue. Just lay that there for now. And it looks like we're building maybe a little bit more of it. We'll see. Okay. So this time we're going to be using one of these and one of these. No, not that one. Let's see. This one. All right. Here we go. Fantastic. So this just threads through here. And on the other side, we have another black tube. Just goes like that. Looks good. Okay, that's just a connection to the main mast. Very cool. And that just goes right here. It's kind of on a little ratchet, so you can adjust it either way here, which is neat. Okay, we can go ahead and plug that in to the base of the ship. Oh, I see. This is meant to just be a part of the deck. So it's just the floor. All right. Great. Okay. All right, it's in. There's really no good way for me to show you the mast now. But if I angle all the way up here, you can see that my background runs out and there's the mast. So I didn't think I would ever have to angle up that far for something like this. All right, it'd probably be a good idea just to increase the height on the tripod, I would say, so that you can see, because there is no way that you'd be able to see a thing unless I do that. Okay, we'll have it ready to come back down when we no longer need it like this. You can see my couch back there. Okay. All right. So one thing that it will have to do is we have to take one of like the ladders and connect the mast down back to the ship. And that comes in one of those bags that have like all of the generic, not generic, but like miscellaneous pieces. It's not a numbered bag. It's just one that you kind of come back to throughout. And you have these giant, like almost like ropes that you would see like in a pirate movie. And that goes into these clamps. I didn't know what they were at the time, but that actually holds it in place. And that will then correlate with the clamps that are actually at the bottom of the ship. And so each one will have it clamped into place. So got those, and got those. And there we go. It's already starting to look more pirate-y, if you will, I guess. Okay. Pirate-esque. That's what we're going to say, pirate-esque. All right. Looks like we're going to be adding some more connectors to the mast. I didn't realize how mast heavy that this section would be, or else I probably would have rethought my camera position more than likely. Ahead of time, actually. Okay. Got that. We got a couple of other pieces here. Then we'll add one of these. Okay. And then add a little topper to it. There we go. And we add another. Okay. All right. So this plugs in right beside of where the ropes kind of go up to, right up here. Oh yeah, that's not good. I must have plugged those in wrong. That's fine. It's actually not much of a fix. Must have got mixed up when I was looking at it. To fix that, I actually have to stand over the thing. Okay, so we just plug that in that way, and that will fix it. There we go. Fix the other one while I'm at it. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Moving right along. Now, I tried to claim earlier that we were building a crow's nest. Now we actually are. So, this section, go right here. And then this completes the platform. Perfect. Wonderful. There it is. Platform of the crow's nest there. And yes, it's time to add more vines. Just when you thought there couldn't be enough. All right, looks like for this, there's gonna be 2 leaves over it. And a vine coming out of the leaves. I like how we continue that theme of there being vines and overgrowth and just all sorts of interesting things happening because this ship has been beached for so long. It's kind of dilapidated and ran down. So I actually think that's cool. Like I said, that was one of the big selling points of this for me. I thought it was neat, the idea of not just building a pirate ship, because that, you know, it's so stock at this point, even though we love it. But what if there was a way to freshen that up, like just a little bit? And that's what this is. But, you know, don't just build a classic Lego pirate ship. Build one that's been sitting there for ages, for decades. Like, as if to explain where Lego Pirates has been. Such a clever notion. All right. Okay, now that we have the mast up there, we're going to be adding, looks like another piece that I think is one of the supports for the sails. All right, get this one on here. Oh, I see. This will hook in right behind the crow's nest. This was the little lookout ships, not just pirate ships, but any ship where somebody was supposed to be looking out to make sure they weren't going to accidentally crash into land, especially on foggy nights. It's hard to see from that angle, but you can see it's actually, you know, it's vertical from there. It's vertical and then horizontal from there, I mean to say. All right, so it's time to do some stuff with the sails. And what's funny that I was alluding to earlier is look at how low-tech the Lego packaging solution is here. It is literally a strip of masking tape over this to keep this coiled up, to keep this cord kind of, you know, in one loop, which is hilarious. But usually packaging is kind of mystifying in the modern era. Like, we don't know how they did this or how they did that, or maybe a machine did that, but nope. I was literally just a dude. Put a piece of masking tape on there and called it a day. So, I don't know about anybody else, but my sails were pretty warped when I got this. They weren't creased, but they were kind of bent into weird ways. And I actually kept a book on them for months because I knew I wouldn't be able to get around to building this right away. So I just kept the book on there knowing that they would be nice and flat by the time I was ready to build this. And sure enough, they are. So I like that. Okay. Yes, this is the right sail. And believe it or not, we're actually going to roll the sail up. This is one of those funny like a system, non-Lego kind of build moments where it's wanting you to physically like roll up this piece of cloth, almost like a little napkin. And so it's kind of funny because, I don't know, it's a different sort of motor skill than connecting a bunch of bricks. You're trying to coil something, or trying to not fold, but you're trying to kind of roll it, I guess, is the physical action that's happening. Okay, now the thing I shown you earlier, which is this, that has the tape on it, I guess we just get the cord out, and that is what is supposed to be like the ropes that are keeping the sails together. Now, I like this because it's kind of a fun notion that they've not had to use the sails in all this time. And I let that come unrolled on me, so I've got to re-roll it. It would be incredibly difficult to try to get this on me rolling this up. So I'm not too worried. Sorry about there being nothing to look at this point. When I get it up there, you'll see what I've done, but it would be crazy to try to show you the process of rolling this thing up like a small burrito, if you will. Okay. I used some pretty nifty masking tape down at the Lego plant because I'm having a hard time. There we go. All right, I've got it. So here is our cord that we're going to use. And I have to take another shot at rolling the mast up a little bit because it still wasn't quite right. And the worst part about like fabric sails on this is little bits of dust and things, and in my case cat hair can get on it pretty easily. I wouldn't have been hurt if these weren't cloth, and instead they were just I don't know, some kind of plastic piece or something like that, because it is pretty frustrating to try to get these things right. Then you also have to worry about creasing the things if you're not paying attention. So okay. This is taking much longer than I thought it would. I apologize. It turns out to make this work right, you have to really roll this thing pretty tight, actually. And I used the wrong cord earlier. It's the shorter one. I was trying to use the longer one, and that was not going to work. All right, you can see now that I'm using the correct cord. This is rolled up just the right way. And you're going to take these two ends with the holes and put them through right here. Then we're going to cap those off. So let me see here. And you know what? This could be, let's see. No, I think that's the right one. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think I rolled it up from the wrong end. Wow. For anyone watching this, I am sorry. Turned out that a lot could go wrong with this part. There has to be other people that were failing miserably at this, not just me. At least that's what I'm telling myself, so that I don't feel as bad about it. This is what happens when Lego trains us all those years not to have to ever deal with anything like this. As soon as we do, we can't do it. Which I have to say, this paper, fabric is so weird. It's kind of like paper, yet it's fabric-y. It's like starchy. So I really don't even know how you get this kind of strange consistency. I've never owned one of the classic old Lego pirate ships, but from what I've seen and what I've heard people tell me, this is probably in line with the way that those sails were as well. And maybe someone can tell me in the chat if that's true, if that's what they were like, if they were kind of like starchy, fuzzy paper or what. But it's definitely its own kind of tactile experience, I guess, if you will. Okay, let's try this one more time. This time, I think I've got it. All right, this time our Long John Silver's napkin looks much nicer. And we're going to take the shorter end and put through. Yeah, that makes a world of difference. And you don't want to rip these holes out any further than they're supposed to be. So I don't want to push it too hard here. Here we go. Okay, they're on. Now we just need to cap those off. Let's hope this is the easy part after having to deal with all that, which was quite a bit more difficult than what I imagined. Okay, there's one cap. And there's the other. All right. We've got a workable rolled up sail there. Okay, that looks good. It definitely looks like a rolled up pirate ship sail. great. Okay, and we're going to use these two pieces. And it looks like we're building another support for another sail. So hopefully I've improved on my sail folding or rolling skills, and it will go a little bit better. It can't go much worse. Just take this. This is just kind of like Technic pins that we're working with. Okay. Then the same as before, you plug one of these onto each side, and then your sail is going to go onto each of these pins right here. This time we're going to use one of the smaller sails. And we're going to have to go up even further. There we go. You can see some of my stuff in the background. Very pleasant sight, I'm sure. Okay, there we go. What's cool is that's adjustable right there, so you can kind of teeter it either way you need it to go. All right, once again, we'll use this to tie the folded sail. And the instructions show that you have to get one of the smaller ones, not one of the larger ones. I'll be rolling this up. Like I said, the process is you're just kind of trying to roll this. So and this is very, very difficult to roll. It's almost more like you're trying to roll paper, but harder. So it turned out the rolled up sails was the Achilles heel that I had for this set. You can hear that. I'm doing this little number right here to try to make the rolls a little thinner. If they're too thick at all, you can't get that cord to wrap around them. So you've got to try to diminish them in size as much as you possibly can without creasing it and destroying it. And I think that's about right. About to get it clipped. And there we go. There's our sail right there, all clipped and ready to go. I told you, I got better. I think that went better than last time. I did that in about 1/8 of the time, so there you go. Okay, clip one part over this, and it might be easier this time if I actually go ahead and clip it into place so it doesn't try to ease off like you're seeing is happening right now. So clip that one. Then we can work on this side independently. Get that going here. Okay. here, and Varlar. Bingo. And that looks good, yeah. Definitely got some sales going now. Need to give the Black Pearl a run for its money. The Flying Dutchman, Captain Hook's pirate ship, you name it. All right. And all the way back down there in Legoland, have your confused minifigs looking up in abject horror. But let's get back up here because there are still some things we have to do. We have one of these, and we're going to take it and put in a little gray pen. And I think that we're getting some more line structure on there. We're going to use the longer cord that I was trying to use earlier. This is like a support, I guess, for all those sails. And so this will cap on right there. And this is the long cord that I was almost accidentally using earlier. Then we take two black single studs and put on the top of it. I don't know if it's just for decoration or what it is exactly. So we've got that on there. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. So this is going to peg up here. You can see where it goes in. Well, if I can actually make it work. There we go. Thought I'd done something wrong there for a second. Okay, now this line is going to come down through here, and you can see the little clasp there, and it actually threads. So if you look, it's actually now just dangling. Okay, we're gonna cap that top off. If we go back up, you can see what I mean. We're just gonna take one of these little pieces right here, put it at the top. And this is just to pretty it up so it doesn't look so incomplete. And then a little extra bit of decoration right there. Okay, that looks a little more finished now, I suppose. Now we're going to be flying the classic pirate ship flag. And this will certainly give it some prestige as you're going sailing over the 7 seas. Let's see. So we're basically going to create a flagpole with these two pieces. So pop those in, and you've got a very respectable Lego flagpole. Jolly Roger. Okay, and you can see what we've got here. This is definitely in line with those classic Lego pirate ship graphics. So that is nice, nice, nice. And this will make it go even higher. So let's, I'll show you. This is getting insanely tall now. Okay. Look at that. Way up there. And then way down here in Minifig Land, they can't even see it. So it's just a dot to them. So the question I had, and maybe you did too, was what's going to become of this hanging line right here? Well, apparently there's only one thing it's good for, and that's barrel hoisting. So So here's our barrel. The line is going to connect to that piece that we've attached to the top of the barrel. So all we're going to do is grab that and peg it in appropriately. Aha, there we go. And that straightens out the line beautifully. It's just enough of kind of a counterweight to where it can straighten that out and keep everything looking pretty. Okay, and believe it or not, we are actually going back down to the main level where we don't have to do any more of this aerial photography, I would call it. We'll still stay a little bit up so that we can kind of see what's going on down below. All right, back to the deck. I'm relieved to be back there because it was not the easiest thing to live stream what I was doing up top. All right, there it is. So this is just the other part of the deck that we hadn't used yet. We have a box on there. And we also have a lid for that box. Okay, we just should be able to plug that right in. There we go. There's some studs waiting for it. And now we have a completed floor. So now our pirates, if I don't accidentally kill poor little guy, they have a place to stand. So our pirates are so close to having a little slice of home right here. Bless their hearts. So let's see. Looks like this is where we get to put in some of the implements, some little tools that they have. We have anchors, we have swords, blades. Here's these two that we get. We're going to put those in storage. We have an anchor. The anchor will actually just set in this box, and I'll get him out of the way. So the anchor sets there, and the swords actually go in this barrel. Pirates definitely knew how to take advantage of excellent storage solutions. There we go. Oh, wow, okay. Well, this is surprising. This is now the point in the build. See, all of this is a surprise to me because I didn't, look massively close at what other people have done, reviews, pictures even. I was trying to keep this, a fresh experience. And it certainly is, because we're about to do something that's kind of a surprise to me. We are going to be connecting the ship with the bit of island that we've built. I don't think it's the last bit of island we're going to build, but it's definitely the main part. Here we go. And so I believe that we're going to park this section of the ship onto this base. So how cool is that? Okay. Let's turn our pirates around where they're facing camera when they dock. I think that would be more fun. Okay, so apparently you just use these pins and just plug the ship in to these pins down here. So that should be fun. And let's make it happen. think I accidentally made this one a little incorrectly. Yeah, I've got to lower that down. Don't know how I did that. I think earlier at the beginning of the stream, I was messing with this right before the first part of the stream. And I think I was under the impression that a piece that went there, I put it there mistakenly. So I think that's what happened. Okay, that should make a lot more sense. Got that out of the way. Now, I think we're level. I think everything is simpatico. Let's see. There we go. Plugged right in. So now our ship has actually docked, literally, with the island. So you can see it there. There's our happy campers right there. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, before we move on to bag 6, which looks like kind of the start of something new, with a new piece of island even, so spoiler alert. We're going to build some cannons, which I think are mostly pre-built for us in a way. I think they're mostly just big toys, just big plastic pieces. So it's just, all you kind of have to do is set these into these red plastic cradles. So we're just going to do that. There we go. Actually took a little bit of force to snap these cannons in. So, second verse, same as the first. There we go. And I snapped that in backwards. It's okay. Quick fix. There we go. Now we're snapped in the correct way. Okay, then we build little bases for each of these guys, and we're doing all of these steps twice since there's 2 cannons. So we build a base here. We build a base here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. We're going to add some wheels. These guys can hot rod around this tiny little island at Barracuda Bay. Ah. Yeah, may end up entering these into the soapbox derby on the island. Okay. There it is, had one of the wheels. Several of them, actually. Get away from me. And apparently we're also building like a little black powder plunger for one of them. but not for the other. So this is just on one of them, I believe. Well, you'd be forgiven for thinking it was supposed to be on both. That was a bridge too far for Lego. They said, you know what? We're going to give them a whole ship to build, but we can't afford 2 black powder plungers. You can just forget it. All right, then there's cannon placement. I don't think these can peg in necessarily anywhere. I think you just set them in suggested locations. So, oh, this is cool. The pirates have clearly kind of converted this into more of a fort area. And so this is the front where they've got this cannon rigged up to kind of, I guess, defend the island. Then down below it on this little dock, they have the other one situated. Then this is really funny. Earlier we built that door and I was trying to figure out in what context is that door going to work. And sure enough, it just leads to the dock. It leads to the pier. So I'm actually quite pleased with that. That's pretty neat. Can we open up the door? Seems like the door is a little difficult to open from this angle though. So, oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, we can go in right through there. All right, before we go, because it doesn't look like there's much happening tonight, I think Saturday night is probably not the best time to catch folks watching a Lego live stream on YouTube. I'll remember that one. But since there's not many folks around, we'll probably end it right here and just get one good look at our progress so far on our build. We'll see how we've done. You can see that now it's connected. We have a mast and sails. Things are moving right along, everything's kind of coming together, looking nice. And it's very impressive to see what happened with just the last bag. So I actually think that's pretty cool. And just to zoom out, and here's my couch. You can see how, it's an impressively large deal. You have the Jolly Roger and all that up there. There's just a lot going on. I don't even have one of the pieces. There it is. Little guy on the boat there. It's impressive. I have to say, it's very impressive. So, yeah. Well, this was fun. Quiet stream. Definitely me, myself, and I for this one. But hopefully everybody will be able to rejoin, and we'll be able to see everybody for the next one. And we will be continuing with bag number 6. All right, guys. Have a great one. Take care. God